It was such a magical process making this movie. I think working with kids was an amazing surprise. I thought it was gonna be a challenge, and it actually was a blessing.
Hi, Jonas.
Hi, Jana, how are you? Thank you for having me.
No, of course. Thank you for making the time to talk to me. Thank you so much. A pleasure to talk to you and to meet you and to talk about Chupa. So I want to start like from the script. What was about the script that got your attention to direct this film?
You know, I spent most of the pandemic locked down with my kids watching a lot of movies, and most of those movies were movies from my childhood, family adventures like E.T., Jurassic Park, Gremlins, Goonies. And I suddenly started having a need to make a movie like that, a movie that I could share with my kids, like a movie that like a family could sit together and, enjoy the ride. And when the script came to me and I saw that it was a movie with that DNA, but that also turned on its head the myth of the chupacabra, it became very exciting to me because, I grew up in Mexico in the 90s. I was a kid when the myth started, and all over Latin America, there were sightings. And, as a kid in Mexico, I was really excited about the idea of a magical creature outside of my door. So, when I got the script and I realized it was about this creature, but with the Amblin DNA, I suddenly realized that I could make a movie for my kids, but that also played on the nostalgia of my childhood.
Yes, I love that. I watch it with with my son, and I think this is the ET for this generation, and I love that. So let's talk a little bit about the creature, like the inspiration for it. I learned that you use a real dog on set, but what was the inspiration for the real creature?
Well, definitely we wanted to ground it on the myth of the chupacabras. So, I basically a lot of the sightings describe the creature as a quadruped, and there were sightings that described the creature as having wings. So those two elements were very important to me. But a lot in designing the creature, I also based it in a lot of animals that I'd seen kids really connect with, I think a huge inspiration for the creature comes from one of my dogs, because he has a floppy ear, and I see how constantly seeing him, I see how just that floppy ear makes him so vulnerable and cute. So I really wanted to feel the creature design with elements that I knew kids would recognize and connect with. I think there's something really magical that I wanted to show in this movie about the relationship between a boy and a creature, which is also why, to your point, I chose to film the movie with a dog. Evan, the boy that played Alex, on set, he was always interacting. Whenever there was Chupa, there was a dog, because I really wanted him to connect with a real creature and play up on that relationship.
Yeah, I love that. And what was your biggest challenge?
I mean, honestly, it was such a magical process making this movie. I think working with kids was an amazing surprise. I thought it was gonna be a challenge, and it actually was a blessing. The kids had so much fun. They were so honest, so real, that it was really fun. Every day on set was just watching these kids become closer as a family and just really build the characters. I think one of the most challenging scenes to film definitely was a scene towards the end where the final set piece, because we wanted to film it in a real location, and so we had to take a lot of measures to make it really safe. But other than that, it was a really fun experience.
Yeah, I spoke to Demián, and he talked, and we talked about the lucha libre costume, and he got very emotional. What was important for you to bring that to the movie as well?
Well, I think growing up in Mexico, I grew up admiring lucha libre. It's such a awesome sport because it's a very acrobatic sport, but it also comes with a lot of narrative. Each wrestler, each luchador has its own mask that comes with a full narrative, and you know, to me a lot of Chupa is about a boy that reconnects with his roots, and in doing so learns the story of his family, you know. I think that's a lot of what families do. They build a narrative of where you come from. And, you know, it became, in building the character of Chava, it became very fun, the idea of making him a luchador, because then we could also build that narrative, the narrative of the lucha libre character that Chava was.
I love it. Jonas, it's a pleasure to talk to you. This is the time that I have with you. I just want to thank you so much. Muchas gracias, muito sucesso. Muito sucesso.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Muito obrigada. Tchau, tchau.
Thank you so much.
If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like, and subscribe to our channel right here.